Hey, this is Andy Holloway from the Fantasy Footballers Podcast, and you are listening to the Tyler and Eli Podcast.
Father and son, boy, it's never been dead. Oops, I'm not done. We all about the fun, trying to be the one, not another bum. So, fantasy football tips, probably win one, maybe 2 or 3 ships. Oops, I'm Matt Hun. Eli is the one. Tyler makes the sum. Belowski and it's done. Boom.
This is the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast, Season 3, Episode 50. Big 50, Eli. I am Tyler Belowski.
I'm Eli Belowski.
And again, episode 50, Eli, 3 seasons in, and we hit number 50. 50. We want to say thank you to Andy Holloway from the Fantasy Footballers for the intro. Great guy, awesome guy. Listen to their podcast after you listen to ours. Eli and I are under the weather a little bit, so we're going to be coughing, sniffling. Voices are going to be cracking because we got some sore throats going on. Pretty much a head cold, Eli.
Yeah, my voice has been off all week, so
hopefully
it's coming back around, but it might crack a little bit during this episode.
Yeah, so bear with us. We'll continue to give you our nines, our injuries, and all that jazz. So hopefully you can sit through it for the next 20, 25 minutes or so. So let's get into our nines real quick. News, injuries, notes, entertainment, and stats. Eli, who are the 2 rookie starting quarterbacks going this week?
Josh Rosen is going to start for the Cardinals. Came in late against the Redskins, I believe, last week.
Yep, I believe it was the game-winning drive, and he didn't win it, but it was the last drive of the game.
He got sacked. But and then Baker Mayfield is going to start for the Browns because of a Tyrod Taylor injury. He's going to be out. Concussion, I believe.
Yeah, he has concussion syndrome.
He's not going to play.
He won't. He could play, but he's not going to start. Also, Baker Mayfield came in last week on Thursday Night Football against the Jets.
And then Josh Allen probably will start.
Yeah, he's a starter again. Yeah, he's good to go for the Bills. Corey Coleman got cut by the Patriots, wide receiver. I think for the 3rd time we were talking about Eli, and traded once or twice. I think Corey Coleman may be done in the NFL.
Maybe. There's still so many teams that need receivers. Like, even Carolina could pretty much use him, but he would be like the 3 after DJ Moore, so...
Yeah, I was actually thinking Carolina, too. We did talk about the Cowboys could use him.
Yeah, the Cowboys are just messed up.
Yeah, maybe even
But they're still, like, halfway... They're still, like, 500, pretty much, record-wise.
Yeah, they could use him, and maybe even go back to the Bills. They could use another receiver, but I don't see that happening. If he doesn't land with Dallas or maybe Carolina, maybe even Miami. They just whoever they can get to. It's granted they're 3-0, but I think he's going to be done for the year.
Yeah, they're one of the 3 undefeated teams. That includes the Rams, Chiefs, and Dolphins.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you wouldn't think the Dolphins would be in the undefeated.
Yeah, of all the teams, you think it'd be the Patriots in that division.
Yeah, and they're 1-2.
Yeah, in that division. All right, we're going to hit you up with some injuries. We're just going to go through the bulk of the major ones for the podcast. If you want to see the complete list, you can go to crossthefantasypond.com. I gave you guys the weekly update on the most relevant fantasy injuries. However, we're just going to nitpick some of the bigger names for you so we don't take up all the time with injuries. The first one up is Rex Burkhead with a neck injury. He is out on injured reserves. That means he's going to be back to 6 to 8 weeks. So you can go ahead and cut him from your team if you play redraft. There's no reason to keep him on your team anymore.
Next one, LaShawn McCoy, a rib injury a couple weeks ago. He is a game-time decision. He might play, but I wouldn't start him. If you consider who they're going against, which we'll get to later. But, I'm not going to start McCoy this week, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah, I wouldn't start him either. He didn't play last week because of rib injuries. They're playing the Packers this week.
Yeah.
That's a tough defense to begin with. So I would watch your pregame shows. and definitely keep an eye on that. But I would not start him this week. Next up are 2 wide receivers who are probable but will probably play. Juju Smith-Schuster for the Steelers with abdominal stomach issues, and A.J. Green with a pelvis hip injury. Both of them should play today as you're listening to this on Sunday. This is Saturday night. So go ahead and put them both in your lineup. Along with, don't, however, put in Joe Mixon for the Cincinnati Bengals. He is out again with that knee injury. He's got about 1 or 2 more weeks left with that knee injury. He has some minor surgery just to clean it out, fix it up a little bit. So yeah, Joe Mixon, get him out of your lineup and put Gino Bernard in.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in a deep league. Put Gio in. Moving on to the AFC South, Leonard Fournette, the hamstring injury week 1. It's been hurting him. He's still questionable this week.
Yeah, he sat out last week. TJ Yeldon got some playing time, which actually made him get an ankle injury. Both of them are game time decisions. They should both play, but again, keep an eye out for both of them for your lineups tomorrow or for tonight. Jack Doyle, just because tight ends are so thin this year, we want to mention this. He's going to be out again this week with that hip injury, so get Eric Ebron in your lineup.
Eric Ebron blew it up first 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's actually turned it around since playing in Detroit. I don't know if it's that quarterback Andrew Luck compared to Matthew Stafford, but yeah, he is. Well, it's only him and T.Y. Hilton, so maybe he just needed those catches or those looks.
Yeah, I mean Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, Kenny Galladay.
Yeah.
That just hurt him. Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Amir Abdullah also. Marshawn Lynch and Keenan Allen, both injuries. Allen is a game time decision. Marshawn Lynch will probably play. A shoulder and a knee injury. Marshawn Lynch with the shoulder. Keenan Allen out with a knee injury. So just watch those.
Yeah, they'll most likely
shows.
both play. He's not out. He's just questionable. They're game times. Again, watch your pregame shows, but they should be good to go. However, Alshon Jeffrey probably won't play again with a shoulder and sickness injury. I don't think he's going to suit up this week again. And same with Evan Ingram, tight end for the Giants. He is out with a knee injury, as I said. I think it was the MCL. So he's going to be out 2 to 4 or 5 weeks or so. So if you have a tight end option, get him in your lineup. As far as Randall Cobb for the Packers, he is a game time decision. However, Eli, I saw earlier today that he didn't go to practice Saturday afternoon. So that means usually if he's not practicing Saturday, you're not going to play on Sunday. So I would not start him this week, even if he does play, because that hamstring could just keep going and get hurt more and more.
Yeah, definitely. And then Aaron Rodgers, the knee injury from a couple weeks ago, he's also a game time decision. I would start him. I mean, going against the Bills, even if he only plays a half, then he's still going to get a bunch of yards, a bunch of touchdowns. I'm starting Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I'm definitely starting Aaron Rodgers also. However, I'm not going to start Devontae Freeman with that knee injury for the Falcons. He is out again this week, so do not put him in your lineup. And wrap it up, Eli, with the last one.
Jimmy G, you probably heard this, out for probably the year with a torn ACL. He is on the IR, which really stinks for the 49ers fans and the 49ers. So, I mean, it's only week 4, but I'm going to say that good luck next year.
Yeah, they're going to be playing for that top 5 pick there.
Yeah.
Because C.J. Brethel is not the answer at quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely could bring somebody in between now and the end of the season to maybe get some draft pick hype, but why not take the top 5 pick instead?
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to the sit starts. We're going to do the first game here. The Bengals versus the Falcons.
Yeah, again, we're going to start A.J. Green, Andy Dalton, and Tyler Eifert, and Gio Bernard for the Cincinnati Bengals. That Atlanta defense is pretty weak this week. They got banged up in the secondary, so if you can get a Cincinnati Bengal in that lineup for the receivers, get them in there. Atlanta Falcons, as always, Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, and Tevin Coleman as your running back. And Calvin Ridley last week, Eli blew it up with 3 touchdowns last week. I would start him as a flex. I'm not putting him as my number 2.
Yeah, against that Cincinnati defense, I definitely would.
And here's a stat for you. Ridley had 3 touchdowns last week. Julio had 3 touchdowns all season last year. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, especially considering Julio's like at least a 5-year vet.
At least, yeah.
And then Ridley's a rookie in his 3rd game.
All right, Eli.
Ever.
Yeah, you're right. So we're going to move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Chicago Bears. Who are you going to start for the Buccaneers, Eli?
Bucks. I'm gonna start Fitzmagic.
Yeah,
definitely.
You have to.
Because Winston isn't gonna play. Most likely, well, start at least. I'm gonna start. I wouldn't really start any running backs except for maybe. Yeah, nobody against that defense, that Chicago defense.
I would start Mike Evans also. He's the number one wide receiver there. And I'd also start maybe Deshaun Jackson. He's always good for that 80-yard bomb. And pick a tight end, Howard or Bray. It doesn't really matter if you have to, especially if you have Jack Doyle or Evan Ingram. Chicago Bears, Jordan Howard, obviously, Mitch Trubisky, maybe. Mitch Trubisky, maybe, if you have a 2-quarterback league. Other than that, Allen Iverson, maybe. But maybe Trey Burton also.
Yeah.
That Chicago offense is really disappointing this year. I know they have a pretty decent record.
They're 2-1.
Yeah, but it's just for fantasy, other than Howard, they're not really doing anything. I thought Allen Robinson would have had a bigger season this year, but he's not. He's kind of disappointing. And Trey Burton. Chicago just pretty much Jordan Howard and maybe Tariq Owens. Or Tariq Cohen,
But start that. I might start the Chicago defense this week. If it's all you got, then I would. I'd start them over the Green Bay. Probably not, actually.
Against the Bills? Yeah, maybe. Well, Khalil Mack, he's been blowing it up. He's had like 4 sacks, a fumble recovery, a touchdown, a pick six. So they're alone as 12 points. So I would start Chicago over Tampa Bay. Because Fitzmagic is good for 2 or 3 interceptions a game.
Yeah, and they coming off that L in Pittsburgh or at home, I think.
Yeah,
against Pittsburgh, that's hard to come off of. So.
Yep, talking about a bunch of losers, we're going to be moving on to the Dallas Cowboys versus the Detroit Lions. The Cowboys, Zeke and only Zeke. I can't start anyone else. No. Detroit Lions, you're going to obviously start Matthew Stafford, Marvin Jones, Golden Tate, maybe Kenny Galloway. Kerryon Johnson, Eli, the rookie running back. I love him this game. Sean Lee is out for the Dallas Cowboys, and when he's out, they usually do horrible on defense. So Kerryon Johnson.
They usually do horrible on defense anyways. So.
Yes, that's true. That is very true. So Kerryon Johnson, look for him to get at least, I'd say, 100 yards and at least 1 touchdown. I think he would be my starter of the week at running back, maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely rookie running back.
Yeah. Moving on to the Buffalo Bills against the Green Bay Packers. Buffalo, you're going to start McCoy maybe as a flex, if anything.
Yeah, again, watch that pregame shows just to make sure that if he is going to play. If not, you have Chris Ivory there. You could start him, I guess. With Buffalo, you're also going to start maybe Calvin Benjamin if you have to, and same with Charles Clay if you have to.
Charles Clay is out, I believe.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He is out. Yeah, let's see what he has. Real quick, he has...
he's a game time decision.
With his shoulder. So, if you need those PPR points and you have Evan Ingram, he plays, put him in there. Green Bay Packers, obviously Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Jimmy Graham. Aaron Jones, I'd start Aaron Jones over anyone else this week in the running back position. I think they're going to like him a lot.
Yeah, coming back from the suspension.
Yeah, he was back last week, but didn't do a whole lot.
He was? I thought it was a 3-week suspension.
It was 2 weeks. But
I got to start him in one of my leagues.
I know. We'll look at that in a little bit. But yeah, he was just getting his legs underneath him the last game, but now he's ready to go, so fire him up. And I'd fire up that defense in Green Bay.
Yeah, I would definitely. Philadelphia versus Tennessee. Philadelphia, you're going to start Carson Wentz. You're going to start Jay Ajayi. And not Alshon Jeffrey, though. Nelson Aguilar. That's
Zach Ertz.
Yeah, Zach Ertz. That defense, definitely.
Definitely defense. In Tennessee, if you have to, Deion Lewis and Derrick Henry are starts, obviously. Marcus Mariota, if you have to. I'm not starting any of those wide receivers because Corey Davis is not that great. And actually, this is the other one I was talking about, Eli, earlier before we started rolling. Rashid Matthews decided to ask for his release. So Rashid Matthews is no longer with the Tennessee Titans. He was not happy with his playing time. So he's a free agent. He'll probably be picked up sometime next week because it was too late in their week to be picked up by a team to learn a playbook. So keep an eye out for Rashid Matthews. Some people say maybe Green Bay or Dallas. Not Green Bay, but New England or Dallas because they need some wide receiver help.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on, Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts. Texans, Deshaun Watson. Lamar Miller, I would definitely.
He's
flex.
actually having a quiet season this year.
Yeah, an average. I've been starting him every week so far.
It's actually not disappointing. He's always been disappointing in Houston. In Miami, he was great. Houston, he was a lot better.
Yeah.
But
he's sneaking up the points.
Yeah, and very
point
quietly,
total.
he's getting double-digit points every week, and it's actually pretty good to see. Sorry to cut you off. So obviously Hopkins, you're going to start. Will Fuller, he had a huge game last week, so get him in your lineup.
Yeah, a couple touchdowns, I think.
Just
one.
Yeah, Indianapolis Colts, Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton, and Eric Ebron are about your main targets. The running backs, they're still kind of just messing around back there because Marlon Mack's hurt. Nyheim Hines and another guy, they're not really. It's a huge running back by committee. So
yeah, definitely. We talked about this earlier. The record should be different. Opposite the Miami versus New England game. Miami, I'm not really going to start anyone but Kenyon Drake.
that's about it. Yeah.
Just because, they're 3-0, but fantasy-wise, they're not really that good.
Yeah, last week they had a passing touchdown. It wasn't even Ryan Tannehill. One of the receivers threw it to the other receiver. So Ryan Tannehill is useless in fantasy.
Yeah, obviously they don't trust him enough. They have to use a receiver.
Exactly. New England, you're going to start that defense. You're going to start Tom Brady. You're going to start Gronk, obviously. And for running backs, you got Sonny Michael and James White back there now. Whether you start them or not, that's up to you. Look at your roster. I would start probably White over Sonny Michael.
Yeah, Sonny Michael was probably a waste of a draft pick.
Unless
he turns it around.
Yeah.
Like by week 8.
Yeah. I know they're kind of playing it for the future, but the future is today. So let's get moving. As far as the receivers in New England, you're really Chris Hogan. That's about it. If you have to.
Julian Edelman comes back next week.
Yeah,
if you look at the matchup, start him. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless they're playing like Houston or something.
Yeah,
which
New York.
They
did. They played them.
Yeah.
All right, New York Jets. You're gonna start. Again, you're gonna start no one. I guess maybe Isaiah Corral. That's about.
Well,
it.
no, because against that Jags defense, I'm not starting anybody.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, don't start anyone for the Jets unless you absolutely have to. Jacksonville, however, you could start Leonard Fournette if he plays, and Keenan Cole is actually having a pretty quiet season this year. So sneaky season. So maybe
I wouldn't trust him in fantasy yet, though.
No, not yet. Maybe by mid-season, he'd be there. You go, fire him up.
Definitely, and then start that defense, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on to what I think is a pretty good game. The Browns versus the Raiders. Browns, Carlos Hyde, you're going to start against Oakland.
Yeah, I read an article this week that their offensive coordinator from Pittsburgh came over this year. He loves the running game because he had Bell, and he loves Hyde, so he's going to keep giving Hyde the ball until they can shut him down.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe in a 2-quarterback league, I would start Baker Mayfield this week.
Yeah.
If you stream one, because it's against that Raiders defense. I'm gonna start Jarvis Landry in a flex.
I also start David Njoku.
Yeah.
Just because Baker Mayfield needs that release valve for underneath, and tight ends are your favorite spot for a rookie. So definitely Njoku. Oakland Raiders. Marshawn Lynch. Jordan Nelson had a big game last week, so maybe he could repeat this week if you have a flex.
The thing is, though, I if you're gonna start one of them, start both of them. If you have both, because I have both, and I switch every week, and every time. The bench one gets the most points.
Yeah,
They're so inconsistent.
Exactly. So I would maybe not even start them then.
Yeah.
Just hopefully they don't.
Unless you have 2 flex spots, then put them both in.
Yeah. I actually ran a poll earlier this week, Eli, on Twitter, asking, is Amari Cooper really this good or / that? I don't know, how good is Amari Cooper? Is he good or is he just on a bad team? And there's almost 50-50. A lot of people are saying, well, he's good, but unfortunately he has a bad quarterback. A lot of people say, no, he's just bad. So It was actually interesting results. It probably was when we were like 60-40, but close enough to 50-50.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be.
I
thought
think he's just on a bad team.
I do too. I wish he would be like on him. I wish he would be on a better team.
Like, even the Patriots, that would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And it's unfortunate because they have John Gruden as a coach who hasn't coached in 10 years. So that's going to hurt everyone on that team, not just for fantasy, but in general. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at the record, they're 0-3. I mean, John Gruden took the Oakland team, but last time he was coaching, to the Super Bowl. So,
Didn't they lose, though? Or,
actually, you know what? He didn't. He took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
yeah.
because he got traded from Oakland that year.
Wait, you can trade coaches.
You can trade coaches.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty interesting. So, getting back to it, only really start Marshawn Lynch for Oakland, and maybe Jared Cook if you need a tight end.
No, not
If you need one.
Like, if you have Charles Clay, just pick up Jared Cook.
Yeah, or
Because that
Ingram.
Cleveland defense isn't stellar.
It's stellar. It is stellar.
Uh,
It's one of the best defenses in the league.
no,
And actually, this is the I picked Cleveland to only win 3 games. I picked the win the Jets, Raiders, and Tampa Bay at the start of the season, and obviously they already beat the Jets. So they get this week, and I think
I don't think they're going to beat Tampa Bay.
I don't think so. It all depends what Tampa Bay does this week. If they get beat down by the Bears, maybe they'll be defeated enough. All right,
Yeah,
Seattle,
maybe that hot hand will turn cold.
could be. All right, the Battle of the Birds: Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Falcons.
One of them.
Arizona Cardinals. Wow, the sickness our head colds are getting to us. All right, Seattle Seahawks. Doug Baldwin is back, so start him if you have him. I don't have him. I'll never have him, so I'll never start him.
Yeah, we get it. You don't like it.
Obviously, Russell Wilson, you're going to start. Chris Carson is the go-to running back now. Rashid Penny isn't really doing a whole lot. Arizona.
Chris Carson is also injured.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, I must have missed that one.
Pretty sure.
I must have missed that one.
He might be, again, a game time decision, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, hip injury,
Yeah,
game time
another
decision.
game time decision.
Yeah, so it's a hip, so he may not play. All right, Arizona Cardinals. All you really have is David Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm not going to start Rosen.
No.
Not
no.
against that defense.
I'm starting that Seattle defense this week. I actually
Yeah.
picked them up in a couple of my leagues.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got a rookie running back.
I
David.
dropped the Arizona defense. I think we mentioned this in the preseason. We thought the Arizona defense was gonna blow it up because of what they did in preseason, and like they're bottom 5.
Yeah, and they got blown up. They didn't
Yeah.
do the blowing up; they blew up.
Yeah.
I think I wrote an article for Across the Fantasy Pond talking about trading David Johnson because he only has under 200 yards rushing this year.
Yeah, trade the name.
Trade the name, exactly. That's what I said in the article. So check out that article at
And I
acrossthefantasypond.com.
didn't read it, so
Yeah, I mean that's all you're really going to do. Trading the name because he has under 200 yards in 3 games. That's not good. So
especially for a former top 2 running back.
Yeah, you're drafting
Number
in the
one
top
running
4.
back.
Yeah, so trade that name if you can. So Arizona again, just Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald. All right, Eli, the shootout of the week. I think this is going to be the game of the week. New Orleans Saints against the New York
Hopefully,
Giants.
I want to see this game.
Well, we'll be watching it. Being a Giants fan, I'm watching it. All right, the Saints, obviously, you're going to start Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, who actually, I saw this stat, he has 38 catches out of 40 targets. So
Ooh.
he's caught all his balls but 2. Now, that doesn't mean he dropped them. That just means it could have went over his head or down on his feet. Either way.
So that also tells you how good Drew Brees is.
Exactly. Yep, you're right.
And I bet, like, probably up to 5 of those balls were, like, bobbled and
Oh,
stuff.
or like, wait, he made like a circus
Or, like,
catch or something.
tipped.
Yeah, circus catches.
Yeah.
All right, so the Saints only Kamara, Breeze, Thomas, maybe Ted Ginn because he had a pretty good game last week.
Yeah, he's not really sneaking, but he's, like, having a great season.
Yeah. I mean, he's like Deshaun Jackson. He gets those 80-yard bombs, and that's about it. New York Giants, you're going to start. I would start Eli Manning this week. I mean, the New Orleans defense is getting weaker and weaker every year or every week. Saquon Barkley, I'm going to start. Obviously, OBJ, you're going to start. And Sterling Shepard had a huge game last week, Eli.
Yeah. Touchdown at least. He had close to 100 yards.
Yeah. I'm obviously not going to start either one of these defenses because The last time they played, it was like
Well, no,
35 to 45 or something. It's
No,
huge.
the second to last.
Yeah, Either way, it was a huge
The
shootout.
last time they played, it was like 21 to 24.
Yeah, this should be another blowout game, kind of like the Minnesota Vikings Los Angeles Rams game on Thursday, 38-31. So it should be another big blowout game.
30. I thought it was 36 to 31.
Oh, 38-31.
Ugh.
All right, San Francisco 49ers. I'm not starting anyone.
No.
There's no one really worth starting. There's no quarterback. Running back's horrible. Receivers are garbage. So we'll just move on to Los Angeles Chargers. Eli, who are you going to start for the Chargers?
I'm going to start Phillip Rivers, Melvin Gordon. I might even start that backup running back, Austin Eckler, just because of that San Francisco defense. I'm going to start Keenan Allen, maybe one of the Williams kids at wide receiver, and the defense.
And the defense, definitely. That defense is going to be stellar this week. Did you say anything about Antonio Gates?
No.
Okay, I wasn't listening. Maybe Antonio Gates about the 49ers. All right, the night game, 8 o'clock. Eli, it's the.
I'm watching this game.
I know. Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers. Ravens, you're going to start Alex Collins. John Brown is actually. I saw something about him being in the top 5 deep ball passers or something like that. So.
Yeah, John Brown had a touchdown against the Bills.
Yeah, he's pretty
He's been
good.
having a couple touchdowns.
I still wouldn't start Flacco, not against Pittsburgh at least. Who are you going to start against the Steelers?
The Steelers, I'm going to start Ben. I'm going to start Ben. You're going to start James Conner. You're going to start Brown, Juju.
Vance McDonald,
Vance
definitely.
McDonald.
I mean, you see that
Jesse
stiff arm?
James. Oh, wait, no, not Jesse James.
I think Vance is their main guy. Did you see that stiff arm he had?
Yeah, against Quan Alexander, I think.
No,
that was the
Caton
corner.
or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, he actually got injured. The player got injured. He's actually done for the season.
Oh.
He's on the IR. Yeah, he's done. All right.
It's probably like a brain injury or something.
No, it was a knee. It could have been a brain. He got rocked. All right, Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers. I wouldn't start either defense either. Like, that's going to be either really high scoring or really, really low scoring.
Yeah. I think it would just be like a 21-28 game.
Yeah, or a field goal. Yeah, under 7. All right, Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos from Monday night.
This is going to be a good game.
I think it can turn out to be a good game. This game would be really good if it was later in the year because of the snow in Denver. But it's only October 1st, so there's not going to be any snow. Kansas City Chiefs, you're obviously going to start Patty Mahomes. He's on record breaking. I think he's now up to like 68, 69 pace for touchdown passes. That's incredible.
Yeah, 13 in his first 3 games.
That's awesome.
As a starter.
I didn't even really see that coming. I did not see him doing that.
I saw him getting like 5 in 3 games.
Yeah, and like 20 picks. Because not really, but he's kind of like that rookie. He's on a rookie.
But he's got a great vision.
Yeah.
His vision is incredible. Like before week 1, I watched some film. Like not really, but I watched like a video about him.
Or highlights, film, yeah.
Yeah, well, not highlights, but like analysis kind of about his week 17 game in Denver. His vision and his arm power is like incredible.
Yeah,
put those two together, you get 13 touchdowns in 3 games.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's going to be something pretty good if he can keep doing this. Yeah, so start Patty Mahomes, Kareem Hunt, Sammy Watkins, and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, definitely.
Denver, you're going to start Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, and this week, Eli, I would even probably maybe sneak in Cortland Sutton, rookie wide receiver. That Kansas City defense is not as strong as it used to be. Eric Berry is. I saw that he's not going to play this week. And I think they got some other banged up corners and linebackers, and plus they're going to be double and triple teaming Hill and Watkins.
Yeah, Justin Houston is out. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so I would maybe if you can sneak in Cortland Sutton, maybe like 2 flex leagues that I play in a couple of them. Definitely maybe get Cortland PPR points if anything.
Yeah, definitely.
And this starts the week 4 starts the bye weeks, and bye weeks are Washington Redskins and Carolina Panthers. So don't put any of those people in your lineup unless you're playing Eli and I, and then we would love that.
Yeah, definitely. Now we are going to move on to our pick'ems. They were here they debuted this year 3 weeks ago. Here they are, Matthew and Parker, here to do the pick'ems again.
All right, guys, how's it going, Matthew? How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Parker, how you?
Sick.
You feeling sick too?
Yeah.
How you doing, Park man? Oh, I think he's gonna. Hold on. All right, Eli, why don't you just take over real quick and just
Okay.
talk to Matthew for a little bit.
Okay, Matthew, how do you feel about being on the podcast?
Really, really good.
So, what's your, why do you like Ezekiel Elliott so much?
Since he's on, since he's on the Cowboys, and I like the Cowboys.
Oh, you guys talking about Zeke?
Yeah, I asked him why it was his favorite.
Oh, you like Zeke Elliott?
Yeah.
Get out of this podcast.
Okay.
All right, so Parker is not going to be joining us. He decided he doesn't want to, which is fine. So we're going to move on. Thank you guys for stalling. That was a good job. Good job.
I'm very good at stalling.
All right, so Matthew and Eli and I are all sick or head colds, so we are going to try to power through this. So real quick, Matthew, Cincinnati Bengals or Atlanta Falcons? Who's going to win?
Atlanta Falcons.
Eli?
Pretty easy.
I think Cincinnati.
I'm going to go with Cincinnati also, just because that Atlanta defense is a little weak this week.
It is?
Oh, it is a little weak. Parker, you enjoying us? All right, Parker. Parker is back. He's ready to go. Parker, who do you want to win, the Cincinnati Bengals or the Atlanta Falcons?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, all right. All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Chicago Bears, Eli?
Bears.
Matthew.
Bears.
I'm going to go with the Bears. And Parker?
Tampa.
Oh, Tampa. All right, the
Not a
Detroit.
clean sweep.
Not a clean sweep there. Detroit Lions, Dallas Cowboys. Matthew.
Pretty hard. I want the Cowboys to win, and I don't know who's going to win. My best guess is Cowboys.
You can go with the Cowboys. Parker?
Detroit.
Detroit Lions. Eli?
Lions.
Lions. I'm going to say the Lions also. Just because Dallas is, they're not doing anything. They're 0-3 and they're going downhill.
They're
okay.
0-3.
They're 0-3.
I thought they were 1-2.
Nope, they're 0-3.
So did I, actually.
Yep,
I said
0-3.
I'm on this phone that they're 1-3.
Alright, let me look real quick, Matthew.
I'm pretty sure they are. Yep, 1 and 2.
Oh, 1-2, Matthew. Oh, that's,
yeah,
you know
they
what?
won against
They beat the Giants.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. They beat
So-
the Giants.
All right, let's move on. Buffalo Bills, Green Bay Packers. Parker, Green Bay Packers or Buffalo Bills?
You can come back to me.
We'll come back to you. Eli,
Packers.
Matthew.
Packers.
I'm going to go with the Packers and Parker.
I just think Green Bay is not going to win this year, so I think I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Buffalo with another upset. Buffalo beat the Vikings last week, and maybe Parker will be right again this week.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Well, I said
Yeah.
what last?
All right, Philadelphia Eagles, Tennessee Titans. I'm going to go with the Eagles. Eli,
Eagles.
Matthew.
With the upset, Tennessee.
Oh, nice. Parker.
I just really don't think Philadelphia is going to do it, so I think I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Tennessee Titans with another upset, Parker. All right, Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts. Matthew.
My best guess is Houston.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Texans also. Eli?
Indianapolis.
Oh, all right. Parker.
I don't know if Houston is going to make it this year, so I think I'm going to go with Indianapolis.
Going to go with the Colts. All right.
Upset.
Upset. I think you're right. That would be upset. All right, the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots. Parker.
Of course. I don't think Miami would do it with this year, so I think I'm going to go with New England.
New England, Matthew.
With the upset Miami, I think.
You may be right. They're 3-0. Eli?
Miami.
I'm going with the Patriots. I think they're going to pull it out and turn their season around.
I don't know. I mean,
They could do it. It's in New England. If it was in Miami, that'd be different.
yeah.
All right, New York Jets, Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to go with the Jaguars. Parker.
Wait,
You
no,
can come
Dan
back to
didn't
me.
say that. You can come back to me.
Okay, Matthew. Jets or Jaguars?
I think Jacksonville.
Okay. Eli?
Jags.
Parker.
For the upset, New York.
Wow, Parker's all about the upsets this week. All right. Cleveland Browns, Oakland Raiders. I'm going to go with the Browns. Matthew.
Oh, I thought you did the other one.
No, Cleveland Browns, Oakland Raiders.
Oakland.
Eli.
Browns.
Parker.
That's something I thought I'd never see.
I know, right?
Same with you two guys. Cleveland.
They go with Cleveland.
Next game, Seattle at Arizona. Parker.
I really don't think Seattle's gonna do it. So I'm gonna pick Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
Cardinals,
Oh, another
okay.
upset.
Yeah.
Matthew. Oh, sorry. Matthew.
I think the Seattle will win.
Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Seahawks also. Eli.
Seahawks.
Wait, I
I
have the
mind.
upset. I changed my mind.
Okay.
Arizona.
You go with
Yeah, I
Arizona?
changed my mind. Seattle.
Okay.
Come
All
on.
right. All right. New Orleans Saints versus New York Giants. I think we all can say the Giants.
No.
Not really. I have Drew Brees on my. Yes, I would say.
I have Drew Brees on my fantasy
Giants.
team.
All right. So we got Parker with the Giants.
Yep,
I'm with
I'm
the
with
Giants. Matthew and Eli are with the Saints.
Same.
All right. San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers.
San Francisco.
Parker.
I really don't think San Francisco is gonna do it this year. So that's why I'm. Wait, did anyone pick the San Francisco?
Yep, Matthew did.
Oh, then I'm just gonna go with New York.
Really, the Los Angeles, you mean? Los Angeles.
But yeah,
Yeah, the Chargers. All right. Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers. Eli and I are going to take the Steelers. Matthew, who do you got?
I don't know, really.
Okay, Parker.
I don't think. Wait. I don't think Pittsburgh will do it this year.
So you go with the Ravens?
No, I think I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh, even if they don't win. I'm still gonna cheer for them in every game they play.
All right, so we got 3 Steelers. Matthew, who you going to pick, the Ravens or Steelers?
I'm going to pick Baltimore.
Baltimore, okay.
Upset.
Upset. All right, last game of the week. Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos. Matthew.
Denver.
All right, Parker.
If no one picks this is the upset, Kansas.
Kansas
Actually, I'm
City?
going to change mine, Denver.
You're going to go with Denver, Eli?
Yeah.
Kansas City. 3-0. Patty Mahomes.
Upset.
Yep.
That's not an upset.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs also. I think they're gonna ride the hot hands of Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it for Matthew and Parker in the pick'ems. So Matthew, those aren't games.
Okay.
They don't play this week. All right, Matthew, why don't you say goodbye to everyone?
Bye. And for the other game, I think it's Washington.
Okay, Parker, say bye to everyone.
Bye.
Oh, he dabbed you guys. All right. And Eli, any final thoughts?
Wow, you kind of just thrusted me into that.
Well, we did 50 episodes, Eli. Nothing new.
Yeah.
You should be ready 49 times other times. I will start then. My final thought is, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us for 50 episodes, 3 seasons, 3 years, 50 episodes later. We're still going strong. I know we didn't do one last week. We just had scheduling conflicts. But thank you guys so much for putting up with us, listening to us, cheering us on.
Listening to us for sometimes close to an hour.
Yeah. Just thank you guys so much.
Listening to all the bloopers. We probably could make a whole episode just of our bloopers.
We probably could, and candy bar bets and everything.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good final thought for both of us.
Yeah, we're just going to end it on that.
All right. This has been the Tyler and Eli Fantasy Football Tips Podcast. We tell it how it
is.